start in a seated pose, just comfortably, however your body feels it's right. You might want to sit on a cushion or some kind of support. Try and find the natural curves of your spine as you drop your left ear down to your left shoulder. Let's breathe in and circle the right arm all the way back behind you. Rest the back of your palm on your back, upper back, lower back, or between the shoulder blades. And breathe space into the right side of your neck. Long spine, long neck, soft breath. And slowly release the chin down to the chest, lean back into your sit bones, breathe out. As you breathe in, pull at your knees, send your chest forwards, lift your chin, take a deep breath in. Exhale, sink to the back of your sit bones, chin down, round your back. Full breath in to send your chest forwards, open your heart. And exhale again, rounding the back, draw the belly in. Come through the center, inhale, send the chest forwards, just warming up through the spine. Breathing, finding a rhythm that suits you. And then drop the right ear down to the right shoulder, circle your left arm all the way back behind you. Open that left shoulder and just rest the back of your left palm on your upper back, mid back or low back. As you breathe space into the left side of your neck, soften your left shoulder, but keep your shoulders over your pelvis, so try not to lean the body over too much. Drop your tailbone down. Just feel that weighted tail through the earth. And then as you bring your hands to the tips of your shoulders, just roll your elbows back, open your shoulders, the biggest rotation that you can get today. Maybe let the upper body get involved. Maybe let the head get involved. Find your foundation through the legs. Good, breathe up into the sides of the ribs. And the next time your elbows are overhead, take hold of your right elbow with your left hand, or the other way around, either one. Standing tall over your tailbone, take a little twist towards the arm that's folded behind you. And then lean away from an imaginary wall. Breathe into those intercostals, expand those muscles inside you, those breathing muscles. And then take a gentle lean, just taking it a little bit further. As you lean over, ground the opposite sit bone down to the earth. So that oppositional pull from one sit bone to the opposite hand. And the arm that was folded is going to go on top as we swizzle the arms over. If that doesn't work, take one hand onto each shoulder. Exhale, draw your elbows into your solar plexus. And as you breathe in again, same as before, we're extending our spine and curling our spine. Follow the journey of your breath. The movement ends when the breath ends. Body, mind, and breath. Body, mind, and breath. Take a gentle twist one way, look over the opposite shoulder. Inhale. Exhale through the center. And take the arms the other way. Look in the opposite direction. Deep breath. Inhale. And exhale through the center. This time we're going to take our hands to the tips of your shoulders. Circle your elbows all the way back behind you and forwards. As you exhale, bring the elbows almost together in front of you. Circle the elbows all the way back behind you. You're staying grounded through your sit bones, following the journey of your breath. And then take hold of the opposite elbow, a little stretch into the underneath of the arm and the armpit here. Turn towards that arm. Drop your tailbone, ground both sit bones. Take a gentle tilt. And then take that tilt a little bit further and reach the arm overhead. Drop through that sit bone and feel the length through the waistline, through the armpit, out through the top hand. Body, mind, and breath. Body, mind, and breath. The same arm that was being stretched is now on top as we shrizzle the arms over. Breathe in, lift your elbows up to the sky, and exhale round your back. Draw them into your solar plexus. We're opening through the upper back, bringing energy into the spine, energy into the shoulders, and especially now they can feel quite crunched and closed after winter. And then gently take your hands just to the back of your skull, interlink your fingers. Now, rather than lifting your chin too much, imagine lifting your heart to the sky. And then your heart down towards your ankles. Take your hands behind you and slightly fan your fingers out. Let's release the feet. We're going to sink onto your left buttock. Bring the knees to the floor, but see if you can lift the feet up. Take a breath in through the center. Exhale, twist your knees to the floor. Look at the soles of your feet. Inhale, center. Spread your toes. Yogi feet here. Allow the energy into your toes. Exhaling, just twisting from side to side, showing you the bottoms of my feet here. And cross the legs. Let's slide the hands forwards. Fold down over your legs. Find that lovely round back, round spine, rooted sit bones. Breathe the belly towards you. Breathe the breath up into the chest, the ribs, the back, your back lungs. Breathe space into the back of your lungs. And then as we take the hands forwards, we come back into an all fours position. Hands under shoulders, knees underneath hips. Spread your fingers wide like stars. Ground through your knees. Long spine. And as you drop your navel towards the floor, tilt your tailbone up, let your head slightly lift. Breathe in. Exhale, push the floor away with your hands round your back and release your head down. Inhale, ripple through the spine, tailbone, mid-back, upper back, neck, and head. Exhale, round the back. Let your head be the last thing to release down towards the floor. Inhaling, lengthening through the spine, arching into the spine, and exhale, round. Push the floor away. Let's raise the right arm up to the sky. Thread it all the way underneath you until the right shoulder comes to the floor or thereabouts. Notice I've slid my head a little bit forwards to keep space in both sides of the neck. Curl your toes under if you want to. Equal weight in both knees and breathe into this twist. Inhaling, exhaling, free your ribs to spin around your spine. See if you can keep a long, measured breath. Inhale and exhale the same length. And slowly release that pose. Ground through the spine again, little cat stretch, just as a little taster. And then exhale, thread your left arm all the way underneath you. Maybe the shoulder comes to the floor or to a support. Slide your neck long, curl your toes under if it suits you. Now breathe into the ribs here, inflate them, but keep the navel slightly drawn in. And now as you exhale, the deepest part of your twist will be right on the end of your exhale as you detox through your organs, breathing the breath out. Kind of like a tea towel being wrung out. And slowly, carefully, with awareness, release. I'm waving to myself here. Take your left leg out to your left side. Turn the toes out. You're mirroring me, so let's go for the right. Turn your right toes out. Ground the foot. Bring your weight into that right leg. And then circle your top arm behind you as you bow down over the right leg. And circle the left arm back behind you. So you're bending the right leg, sweeping forwards, straightening the right leg, sweeping back in big circles with your left arm. Kind of freestyle here, don't worry too much about it. It's just opening up through that left shoulder. Good, now sink the weight into that right leg and breathe your top arm overhead. So same arm, same leg is down on the earth. Top arm reaching overhead, lengthening the side of your waist. If you want to, take a little bind, hug the front and the back of your body. Turn your chest to the sky, either look up or look down. Long spine, safe neck, steady breath, body, mind and breath. And as you slowly release, come back to all fours, give your spine a little release out and take the left foot out. Good. Circle the arm back behind you as you bend the leg. Circle it the other way as you straighten, and as you come through the center, bend again. So a little freestyle, you're just lengthening that left leg, circling the chest and bending that left leg. Good, and then the next time that you bend the left leg, let's take that hand inside the foot. Lean into it with your whole body. Your knee is resting almost on the elbow and you're pressing your elbow into the knee to open it. So you're opening through the front of the pelvis. Either ground the fingers, take the front and the back of the body. Yogi's choice here. Easy. Body, mind and breath. Body, mind and breath. It's your practice, your body. Do what suits you. Gently from here, release back to all fours. And then we're going to curl the toes under and press the sit bones up to the sky. This is called a downward facing dog, but we want to kind of soften the knees first of all. So lift your heels, soften your knees, and just imagine pressing your chest towards your knees. So you're almost arching your spine. Your fingers are spread and ground into the earth or your mat. I do recommend you use a mat here. And then we're going to lengthen from the backs of the knees to the backs of the sit bones. Lift your hips. Keep your hips lifted, but lower your heels. Lift your heels. Keep your sit bones lifted, lower your heels. And you can see that my rib cage is kind of pulled out here. Now I'm going to pull it in and float my knees forwards to all fours and flatten my spine. Sink your bottom back to your heels. Child's pose. Walk your hands forwards. Rest your chest, your head down. This is called balasana, child's pose. Breathe into the sides of the waist, the ribs. Fill your back lungs and deepen the crease between your legs and your body as you sink your body heavier down into the earth. Come up through all fours. Now we're going to take our shoulders forwards of our wrists and bring our whole body to lie down at the same time. Press into the floor. Come back to all fours. Now this is what we don't want to do. We don't want to leave the bottom in the air and just lift the chest. With control, we're coming from a child's pose, all fours. Belly and chest touch the floor at the same time. Elbows hug in. And push the floor away and reverse it. So we're just reversing this move. Child's pose to the belly, belly to the child's pose. Oiling up through the shoulders and developing a little bit of heat in the arms. Curl your toes under. Let's return back to that downward facing dog, that big V shape. Your hands are shoulder width distance apart. We're pressing the weight from the hands up through the torso, back down through the heels. So this is a different angle. If I crunch my shoulders forwards, you can see that my elbows stick out, my head gets completely lost. But now I'm going to draw the elbows in and lengthen the spine. So long arms. Again, see my shoulders crunch up, elbows out. I'm going to pull them in and lengthen the spine and drop the shoulders to my waistline. Sway your hips from side to side. Freestyle here. Never have to be fixed. Then we're going to lift the right leg, send it forwards into a low lunge. Low lunge, take your hands onto your right knee. Don't worry if you wobble. Notice I'm on a wooden floor. Breathe here. So opening through the hip flexor of the left side, lifting the torso away from your right thigh. Ground your hands or your fingers, and then keep your hips low. Lengthen the back knee and then lift your hips up. So we're slowly bending the front knee and then lengthening the front knee. Long spine, bend the right knee, breathe in. Exhale, send the sit bones up. And then fold down over your front leg. Keep your back heel high and see if you can level your hip bones towards the floor. So pull your right hip backwards in space. Press your left hip forwards. So right leg is forwards, the hip pulling back. Left heel is lifted, the hip drawing forwards. Long spine, shoulders soft. And then bend the legs, step it back carefully into our downward facing dog. Lift to the toes, float your shoulders forwards into our plank pose and lower all the way to the earth. Slide your toes away, elbows draw in as you lift through the heart just onto the rib crest. Breathe in. And exhale here. And again, inhale, keep your feet heavy, shoulders draw down the back. And hold it here and breathe. And this looks like an easy pose, but actually we want to keep the neck long, elbows drawing towards each other into this baby cobra, and our feet stay heavy. So just to show you both sides, feet stay heavy, we're just on the rib crest and my neck is long. As we breathe and hold. Exhale to come down. Press into all fours. Curl the toes under into a downward facing dog. Raise your left leg up to the sky, step it forwards, back knee to the floor. Take your hands onto your left knee. Decompress your body away from your left knee. So try not to dump your belly onto your thigh. Press your belly away from the thigh to create space in the front of the pelvis. Release your hands down, lengthen the left leg, breathe in, hip bones back, exhale to bend. And breathe in, inhale, lengthen left leg, right heel is high, and exhale to bend. Inhale, lengthen the left leg, send your chest forwards, and bend. Gently extend your left leg, reach your heart forwards, then fold down over your left thigh. Your right heel is lifted, and you're pulling your left hip bone backwards this time. This makes us level the hips a little bit further towards the floor. So each hip bone tries to get as level with the earth as it can. Breathe your heart down your leg towards your ankle. Good, let's step back to a downward facing dog. Breathe. Spread your fingers, roll your hips towards your wrists. Slowly lower all the way down to the floor. This time, keep the toes curled under, clasp your hands and make a fist behind your back. And gently again, come up to that rib crest like we did before. Take a little twist one way. Breathe, inhale. Look over your shoulder, exhale to release. Inhale the other way, look over your shoulder. And exhale to release. Release the hands either side of your rib cage. Draw your elbows in. Press up to your little cobra, maybe a little bit higher. Exhale the breath all the way out to come down. Press to all fours. We make our way back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands all the way in towards your feet. Let's soften your knees now. So bend your knees. Try not to be tempted to straighten them, even if you can. Hold your elbows and hang down over your legs. Let your head hang, sway from side to side. Slowly from here, lift your heart, hands to the shins or to the floor. fold into the legs, relax the skull, lift and lengthen, and fold, relax the skull. Your weight is slightly forwards in your feet,